All right, let's talk about that dreaded AS error code on your LG washing machine. If you're seeing this, you're going to want to stick around because we're going to break down exactly what it means and what to do about it.
So, if you're standing in front of your washer right now and that little AS code is blinking at you, first things first, don't panic. But also, don't ignore it. This is one of those alerts that requires your immediate attention, and we're going to walk you through it.
Look, this isn't just a friendly suggestion. This is your washing machine basically screaming for help. It's a critical safety warning, so let's dive right into what's going on and the exact steps you need to take. So, what does AS actually stand for? It means the anti-flood sensor has been activated. Deep inside the base of your machine, there's a little safety pin with a sensor. When that sensor detects water where it shouldn't be, bam, it triggers this code and shuts everything down to prevent a major flood in your laundry room.
Okay, first things first. Before we even start playing detective and trying to figure out why it's leaking, our #1 priority is to make the entire situation safe. I'm serious. These 4 steps are non-negotiable. Stop what you're doing and get this done. Unplugging it cuts the electrical risk. Turning off the water stops feeding the leak. And pulling the machine out gives you the space you need to see what's really going on back there.
All right, section 2. Let's check that drain system. Now that the area is safe, our investigation can begin. And here's the good news. A huge majority of the time, the problem is something pretty simple related to how the water gets out of the machine.
This chart right here is basically our treasure map. See that biggest bar? That's the drain system by a long shot. Think about it. Over time, lint, hair, detergent residue, and yeah, that coin you forgot in your pocket can all team up to create a nasty clog. This tells us exactly where to look first.
This is culprit number 1, for sure. A simple kink or a hose that's been crushed against the wall can cause water to back up and spill inside the machine's cabinet. Also, take a good look at where the hose goes into the drain pipe in your wall. If it's jammed way down in there, it can cause siphoning issues.
Okay, so what if the drain hose looks perfectly fine? Our hunt then takes us to the front of the machine, usually behind a little access door. We're looking for the drain pump filter. This thing is like a bodyguard for the pump motor, but if it gets clogged, water has nowhere to go. Now be ready, because opening this will likely release some trapped water.
And please, do not skip step 1. Have those towels and that pan ready. When you unscrew the cap, do it slowly to control the water flow. Once it's drained, pull out all the gunk. You might be amazed at what you find. And before you screw it back in, reach in and give that little propeller, the impeller, a flick. It should spin freely. If it doesn't, the pump is jammed.
Okay, on to section 3, hunting for internal leaks. So, you've checked the drain hose, you've cleaned the pump filter, and it's still giving you that error code. Well, that means our leak is hiding somewhere deeper inside the machine itself.
Time to grab a flashlight. You're going to want to get a good look at all these parts. Start where the water comes into the machine. Check those connections for drips or any crusty white mineral buildup. Follow the hoses from the detergent dispenser and run your hand along the bottom of that big rubber door seal. Even a tiny tear can cause a slow leak that ends up in the bottom pan. And that brings us to our final section, the drain and reset. Let's say you've found the problem, a loose clamp, a clogged filter, and you fixed it. Awesome. But you are not done yet. This last phase is absolutely critical to getting your machine back up and running. 24 hours. That's the bare minimum. You cannot rush this part. That anti-flood sensor is incredibly sensitive. Even a little bit of leftover moisture in that base pan will keep triggering the AS code, making you think you haven't solved the problem. You've got to give it at least a full day, maybe even point a fan at the bottom of the machine to make sure it's completely, totally bone dry. So, after your 24 to 48-hour waiting period, this is the moment of truth. Plug the washer back in. If the code is gone, fantastic! You've done it, you fixed the problem. But what happens if it's still there?
If that AS code pops right back up, even after you know you've fixed a leak and the machine is completely dry, then we have to consider our final suspect. It's possible the sensor itself was damaged by the water and is now just stuck in the on position, crying wolf.
And this is where you make the final call. If you found something obvious, like a filter full of junk or a kinked hose, you've probably nailed it. But if you've looked everywhere and can't find the leak, or that stubborn code just won't clear after drying, it might be time to call in a professional. Knowing when to call for backup is key.
So there you have it. That AS code is a serious warning, but it's often a problem you can diagnose and even fix yourself. Your goal was to stop the immediate threat and then follow the clues.
And now you've got the info you need to decide your next move. Is it time for a victory lap or time to make that service call?